Help me reach my goal and subscribe. And hit the bell icon.
Chapter 68:36. But Claire still didn't understand, so she asked Leon and Jing Qing. Since you all said that Charlie's strength is stronger than Master Jing Qing, can't he beat that old monster now? Leon smiled bitterly and said, as far as I know, with the current strength of the young master, let alone one of him, even if there are 3 or 5 of him, they may not be the opponent of that old monster. After that, he stared at Claire with his wrinkled but clear old eyes and sighed. Mrs. Wade, this is why I want you to leave the young master temporarily. The reason why the young master has not told you these secrets is that he must not want you to be involved. Although this protects you, it also brings him a lot of pressure and distracts him a lot of energy. Just like your mother, she disappeared for a while. I believe you should remember her, right? Claire nodded. I remember. My mother said she was deceived into a pyramid scheme. Not really. Leon shook his head and said, your mother stole the young master's bank card. That bank card contained 10 billion yuan that our master entrusted me to give to the young master. After your mother tried out the password of that card, she transferred all the money in the card to herself. The young master was afraid that his identity would be exposed. So he lied that the card was a fake bank card made by the gang, so that your mother would completely dispel her concerns. He had to let the police arrest your mother and put her in the detention center for a few days. I didn't expect that your grandmother and your cousin were also in the same cell at the time, causing your mother to be injured in their hands. Claire heard these words, and although she hesitated for a moment at first, she soon realized that this was her mother's usual style. If she really saw that Charlie had tens of billions in his bank card, she would definitely transfer it first. Thinking of this, she suddenly felt very ashamed. It turned out that she and her parents not only relied on Charlie's secret protection, but also constantly caused various troubles. Charlie himself was carrying a blood feud, and her family could not only not help him, but also distracted his energy and even held him back. With this thought, she understood why Leon wanted her to leave Charlie. Her family could not help Charlie at all, and could only make things worse. Instead of doing this, leaving Charlie would be like helping him. At least not holding him back, and not distracting his energy. She was already in tears, with heartache and shame, but more of it was reluctance. She felt distressed because she felt sorry for Charlie's tragic fate, and that he had lived so hard for so many years. She felt ashamed because she felt that she had not really fulfilled the responsibilities and obligations of a good wife, had not helped her husband share his worries, and always needed her husband to help her secretly, while her parents always caused trouble for him. As for reluctance, she had realized in her heart that in the current situation, for Charlie's safety and his road to revenge, she could no longer stay and hold him back. So, she asked Leon, how do you want me to leave Charlie? Should I pretend that I don't know about this and file for divorce? Or just leave without saying goodbye? Leon hurriedly said, of course, you should leave without saying goodbye. Otherwise, if you file for divorce, it will be a big blow to the young master, and it will affect his cultivation and his mentality. Claire asked again, if I leave without saying goodbye, will he not look for me? Leon said, don't worry about this. In fact, I have left without saying goodbye for some reason before. At that time, I was also afraid that the young master would find me. So I went to a place where the young master could not find me. That place is in Tahiti, a private island, basically isolated from the world. But please rest assured, the environment there is very good and the facilities are very modern. We will prepare everything you need for life there to ensure that you and your parents can live a quiet and beautiful life. Claire smiled bitterly and said, "It seems that you have been prepared for a long time." After that, she sighed and asked, "Will I have a chance to see him in the future?" Leon said, "Don't worry, Mrs. Wade." Chapter 68:37. Leon continued. We dare not keep this matter a secret from the young master. When everything is settled and the young master succeeds in revenge, we, the servants, will naturally tell him everything truthfully. Claire pursed her lips, thought for a long time, nodded, and said, "Since this is best for Charlie, let's do as you say. We will disappear from his world first." Leon said again, "Madam Wade, when are you going to leave?" "I will make all arrangements in advance." Claire hesitated. For a moment. She thought for a long time and finally said, "Charlie has made an appointment with us to go to Maldives for the New Year together. In all these years, we have never gone out to travel together. However, I don't want to miss this time. In addition, 1 month after the Chinese New Year, it will be the second day of the second lunar month when the dragon raises its head. That day is Charlie's birthday. I want to celebrate his birthday. I wonder if this request is too much." Leon nodded very understandingly and said, "I understand Mrs. Wade's plan very well. But I wonder what you plan to do on the second day of the second lunar month. Or where will you be at that time? I can make arrangements in advance." Claire shook her head and said, "I don't know how Charlie plans to celebrate his birthday next year. I'll ask him first. How will I tell you after it's decided?" Leon said hurriedly, "During this period of time, I will stay in Cheshire Temple. Mrs. Wade can come here to find me if there is anything to share or talk about." "Okay." Claire sighed lightly, her expression a little dazed, and she said, "Mr. Tang, I'm a little too tired today. If there's nothing else, I'll go back now." Leon hurriedly bowed and said, "Thank you for lending me your ear, Mrs. Wade." Claire smiled bitterly, and just turned to leave. She subconsciously thought of the date of February 2nd in her mind. And suddenly thought of something else, and immediately asked Leon, "By the way, Mr. Tang, I have a question. I hope you can answer it truthfully." Leon immediately said, "Please ask, Mrs. Wade." After Claire pondered for a moment, she said, "I have a singer I like very much, her name is Sa Ji. She is also the only daughter of a big family in the capital circle. Her family assets are hundreds of billions. And she has never been rumored for many years since her debut. She has always said that she entered the entertainment industry to find her fiancé. I suddenly remembered that she had held a concert in Oris Hill on February 2nd, Charlie's birthday. I didn't understand it before. But now I think about it, it seems that there is some connection with Charlie." Speaking of this, Claire paused for a moment, looked at Leon, and asked him, "Mr. Tang, can you tell me the truth about the relationship between Sa and Charlie?" Sa is Claire's favorite singer. Not only because she sings well and is beautiful, but more importantly, she can be regarded as the only female star in the entertainment industry who has never had any scandals. Not even a normal relationship. Just now, Claire suddenly remembered Sarah's concert on February 2nd that year. First of all, it was the time of February 2nd. February 2nd was Charlie's birthday. Sarah chose this day to hold a concert in Orris Hill. Originally, Claire thought it was just a coincidence. But after knowing Charlie's life experience, she suddenly felt that the possibility of this coincidence should not be great. Secondly, Sarah was originally looking for her fiancé, which was something everyone in the entertainment industry knew. Chapter 68:38. Claire didn't think about Charlie at first. But now she suddenly felt that this might be related to the fact that Charlie disappeared from his original social circle when he was young and his whereabouts were unknown. Finally, it was Sarah's performance at the concert that day. Sarah wore a wedding dress and sang the song "Tomorrow, I'm Going to Marry You" that day. Claire didn't think much about it before. But now combining these points together, Sarah's wedding dress that day should have been worn for Charlie to see. And the song "Tomorrow, I'm Going to Marry You" that day should have been sung for Charlie to hear. Just now she told Leon that she wanted to spend her birthday with Charlie before disappearing from his side. Suddenly she thought of the concert on Charlie's birthday that year. The more she thought about it, the more she felt something was wrong. Leon was also a little surprised at this time. He didn't expect her to ask this question. After thinking for a moment, he sighed and said, "Since Mrs. Wade has asked, I should answer truthfully. Miss Gu's parents and the young master's parents were close friends. Since childhood, both parents have made an engagement to marry Miss Gu to the young master. Miss Gu has always believed that she is the young master's fiancée, even though the young master disappeared a long time ago. She still firmly believes in this belief." Claire was extremely shocked. She was not shocked to hear this answer, but she felt particularly uncomfortable. This is not only because Charlie concealed his identity and life experience from her, but also because she knew that Charlie and Sarah had already recognized each other. Otherwise, how could Charlie bring her to have dinner with Sarah? At this moment, Claire's heart was even more complicated. Charlie kept his life secret from her, which she could understand to a certain extent. However, he met with a girl with an engagement and brought her along. And she was the only one who was kept in the dark. This made her a little unacceptable. She knew that her identity and background were not worthy of Charlie at all. Even her grandfather was just a servant in Charlie's family. What's more, Charlie not only had the background of the Wade family, but his mother's family was much stronger than the Wade family. The gap between the two was almost equivalent to the so-called antipodal point in the geographical concept, which is the position opposite to oneself on the other side of the earth. It is the farthest distance in the world. Looking at Sarah again, even Claire felt that she was the one who was right for Charlie. Not only did she have a rich family background, but the two families were also old friends. The two grew up together since childhood and were engaged. No matter how you look at it, she is more suitable for Charlie than herself. Claire's mood suddenly became extremely low. In front of Sarah, she felt that she was only ashamed of herself. How could she be compared with her? If that's the case, what is this marriage between her and Charlie? When she married him, she didn't love him. It's just that she promised her grandfather that she couldn't go back on her word. So she never thought about divorcing him. Now she thinks it's more like fulfilling the promise to my grandfather. At the beginning, she also told Charlie privately that she married him only because of her grandfather. And the two of them would not be husband and wife. If Charlie agreed, she had no objection. And if Charlie disagreed, she would not force it. In fact, at that time, when she said this, she also wanted him to give up on his own initiative. But she didn't expect that Charlie would agree without hesitation at that time. Even if he had been sleeping on the floor for several years after marriage. He had no complaints, and he didn't take the initiative to cross the line. Over the years, Claire's feelings for him have gradually warmed up from nothing to something. But she has always regarded him as a family member. And she can't tell whether there is love or not. But at this moment, she suddenly felt a sense of heartache. It was also from this moment that she realized that she had a shadow of love for Charlie in her heart. And she didn't know when it started. Chapter 68:39. Many times, people are animals that are slow to react. It was at this moment that Claire realized that she had actually fallen in love with Charlie. But the abnormal beginning had caused the development of their relationship to never get on the right track. Now it was too late to correct it. She knew very well that she had to leave Charlie for both emotional and rational reasons. Whether it was a temporary or permanent departure. She had to disappear from his world first. In this case, she had missed the best time to correct the direction of their relationship. Leon saw that she looked very painful. And he knew in his heart that this was not an easy thing for Claire. For her to leave Charlie was not just as simple as leaving her husband. But it was equivalent to saying goodbye to all her social circles. Not only her, but also her parents. They would have to completely disappear from where they lived, leaving no clues. Moreover, she had guessed the relationship between Sarah and Charlie. Which would probably be even more difficult for her. Thinking of this, he also felt a little sympathy for Claire, so he sighed. Mrs. Wade, you don't have to worry too much about Miss Gu. Although she is engaged to the young master. The young master is still very loyal to your marriage. Claire was silent, thinking of the interaction between Tawana and Sarah at the Capitol concert a few days ago. She had suspected that the masked assassin was her husband. But now it seems that it is completely certain. She originally couldn't figure out why Tawana would like her husband. But now it seems that although Tawana is more popular than Sarah in the entertainment industry, Tawana is much worse than Sarah in terms of wealth. Even such an excellent woman as Sarah can be infatuated with her husband for so many years. What's so surprising about Tawana falling in love with him? So think about it again, Doris, Warnia, Stella, these girls, each one is better than the other. Why are they so respectful to Charlie? Maybe they have already fallen in love with Charlie. Thinking of this, Claire felt very distressed. And tears welled up in her eyes. She was silent for a moment, controlling her tears, and said to Leon. Thank you, Butler Tang. I will come here to see you again before Charlie's birthday. We will discuss the specific arrangements then. Leon nodded gently and said respectfully. I will always wait for Mrs. Wade at Chishia Temple. I will do my best to do whatever Mrs. Wade asks. Claire bowed slightly, thank you, Butler Tang. And thank you, Master Jingqing. After that, she looked at the fresh flowers in her arms that were as bright as new. And said to Master Jingqing, Master, I'll give this flower back to you. Jingqing shook his head, clasped his hands together, and said, Amitabha, this flower is revived because of Mrs. Wade's opportunity. It is destined to be with Mrs. Wade might, as well take it back and take good care of it. Which can extend its life for a few days. Spiritual energy is the original energy of all living things. Jing Qing injected spiritual energy into the withered bouquet. And the spiritual energy has been transformed into the vitality of the flowers. Moreover, Jing Qing's own cultivation is limited. And the spiritual energy he injected is less. So it only restores the vitality of these bouquets, and does not allow them to continue to grow. If his cultivation is higher and more spiritual energy is injected, then this bouquet of flowers may grow into a rare appearance in the world. It is precisely because of Jing Qing's gentle spiritual energy that it has achieved the effect of moistening things silently. Even now handing this bouquet of flowers to Charlie. Charlie also did not notice that anyone had tampered with it. Chapter 68:40. Claire looked at the lively flowers in his hand and felt pity in his heart. Take it back and take good care of it at home. This bouquet of flowers can at least bloom for a few days or even longer. So she bowed to Jing Qing again. Thank you, Master. After that, she didn't want to stay here any longer. So she took 2 steps back, nodded to the 2 of them, and said softly, I'm leaving now. After that, she turned around and walked away slowly. Outside the door, Magdalena came up to her with a look of surprise and asked her, Ms. Wilson, why did you take so long? Claire didn't know that Magdalena was actually a part of this. So she forced a smile at her and said, I had a lot of questions, so I delayed some time. You should go in soon. I'll wait for you at the door. Magdalena nodded, and looked at the flowers in her hands in surprise, and asked curiously, Ms. Wilson, where did this bouquet of flowers in your arms come from? Claire said embarrassedly, This was given by the magician. He said that I have a connection with this bouquet of flowers. So he asked me to take it home and take good care of it. Magdalena widened her eyes and said with a puzzled look, It sounds strange, but I'll go in first. Ms. Wilson, please wait for me here for a while. Claire nodded and watched Magdalena walk in. After Magdalena went in, she saw Leon and Master Jing Qing were both there. So she walked forward and asked in a low voice, Butler Tang, what should I do next? Leon said, You stay in Mrs. Wade's company for the time being. She needs some time to process all of it. She can probably leave after the young master's birthday on February 2nd. At that time, I will arrange for you to leave at the same time. Magdalena asked him, What about you, Butler Tang? Leon said, I will stay in Chixia Temple. After Mrs. Wade confirms the specific time arrangement, I will meet her here to confirm the details of leaving. Magdalena said nervously, I'm afraid that she will not be able to help tell the young master about this after she goes back. If the young master knows, he will definitely come to Chixia Temple to find you, and he will definitely suspect me. If the 2 of us are found by the young master, we will definitely not be able to keep the secret in our hearts. Leon sighed helplessly and said, Now we have no other choice. We can't force Mrs. Wade to leave immediately. So I can only choose to believe that Mrs. Wade can see the current situation clearly, and abide by the agreement for the sake of the young master. Magdalena sighed, I just saw the micro-expression of the lady when she went out. She must be in so much pain. I don't know if the young master will see it. Leon shook his head. Since you choose to believe Mrs. Wade, you don't have to think so much. The lady's meaning is also to gamble on Mrs. Wade. If she wins, she will continue to strategize in secret. If she loses, She will meet with the young master and explain everything. Magdalena nodded and said, "Okay, Butler Tang. I know, then I will continue to work hard during this period of time." Leon said, "If Mrs. Wade suspects you, I believe that with her character, she will tell you everything directly. And you don't have to hide it at that time. Except for the lady's affairs, you can tell her everything else. If she still needs you to help her, you can stay. If not, you can notify Sister Sun, and she will arrange for you to withdraw."